Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? We're going to be talking about something that just absolutely blew me away the other day. Okay, if you watch my videos, you know I'm real particular about getting that input gain set properly. And we had a conversation up in the community, and one guy really got upset about it, and actually, he just left the community. He didn't agree with it, and he's a professional, and I'm not doubting the quality of his work. He said that he doesn't recommend doing it, but there's no problem with you coming up on these X32s and these M32s and running your inputs to around, a -10. As you can see right now, I'm up here. Doesn't really matter what channel I click on, but I'm trying to keep it right in there around that -20 to -18. I know that normally I say a -15 to a -18. And this is the thing, like I always say, there's nothing ever written in stone. On your percussions, you want to run them a little bit hotter, that's fine, okay? But you got to really pay attention to what you're doing. There's what they have called a doubling effect. Every time you have two inputs, you're going to gain 3 dBs. So from one input to two right here on the kicks, the outside, we've gained 3 dBs. If we take that 2 and double it, and now we have the 4, we've gained 6 dBs. If we take the 4 and we double it and we come over here to 8, now we've got 9 dBs. And then you double it, 16, you're adding 12 dBs. And then 32, you're adding 15 dBs. Okay? So, over here I threw in a CD player coming in through the aux ends. And we come up here and we look at our meters and we go, okay, everything looks fine. Our mains, I got them coming out of 7 and 8. I got a stereo in-ear monitor coming out of bus 1 and 2. I got some effects running on 13 and 14. And I've got a mono in-ear monitor coming out of bus 9. And we look at these meters and we go, we're fine here. And this is the thing that blew my mind, all right? We're looking at the wrong meter. Now, I'm not talking about up here on the meters page. I'm not talking about any of these meters here whatsoever. Okay? I'm talking about the input meter that's going to show us what we have coming in to the digital mixer at one time. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, again, you can see right up here around that -20. Now, we're not talking anything about the output. We don't care. If we come up here to the meters, our in and out, I'm not worried about the main output whatsoever. I'm talking about what's coming into the mixer. Okay? So let's go over to Reaper, and I'm going to boost everything. He was talking basically about that -10 staying somewhere around that area. And I've had this conversation many, many times, guys. I've done a lot of videos on this. I've contacted a couple people that I absolutely have faith and confidence in as having more knowledge than I do in it. And I just asked them, can my line of thinking be off that much? And they said, absolutely not. He said, the people that are telling you this are normally people coming from the analog era, and they just refuse to adapt to the digital age. And that's what it is. It's almost like mathematical physics. These are the rules. You just can't bend them. If you do, you're going to get subpar audio. Okay? Now watch what happens. I'm going to go into Reaper. We're going to add 10 dBs to this, to all the inputs coming in here now. Like I said, it really doesn't matter which one I pick. As you can see coming over here, I'm right at that -20. Every once in a while, it'll go up just a little bit. Okay? So let's go add 10 dBs and let me show you something you probably never seen before. Okay, guys, here we are in Reaper. Now, as you can see right here, same thing on the outputs. All of these are real close to that -18. Okay? So I'm going to come up to the bass channel here. And I'm going to add 10 dBs. Since I've got all the channels selected, all of this is going to get raised 10 dBs. Okay? So from 0, we're going to go to 10. There it is. They all made the jump. Okay, everything looks fine over here. You're not going to see any clipping whatsoever. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back over to X32 Edit. Okay, here we are back in X32 Edit. Now, as you can see over here now on my channels, when I click them, you'll see that we're up here around that -10 there, and nothing's looking out of the ordinary here. Okay, if we pull up our meters, we see everything. We got plenty of headroom, it looks like. You know, coming over here, if I raise up the mains now, you'll see that once I get back up to 0, though, they're going to clip. And you go, well, okay, no problem, Dana. Just pull your mains down. Okay? And that's absolutely correct. You would think that. That is the logical thing that you would think of to do. Okay? Now watch this. If we go to the all, and we go find our left and right here. Look at that input meter. Okay? There's no denying that. When these channels, when all 32 of these channels and that one little aux in that I'm using are summed together, that's showing that 15 dBs. That is a solid clip. Again, you see it right there for yourself. I have done nothing other than raise all the inputs to be around that -10 dBs instead of the -18, -20 area right there. So again, we come over and we look at our meters. Everything looks absolutely fine. Okay? So when you hook up your system and you go, man, when everything is just sitting here and nothing's playing, and I got that terrible sound coming through my mains, or I got that hiss, and that's what it is. When you overdrive your preamps, you're going to get that noise. If you overdrive 32 of your preamps, it's going to sound absolutely terrible. Okay? So this will probably be the last video I ever do on this subject, because I'm tired of going back and debating it and going back and forth, and I'm simply just going to refer someone to this. There it is. You can't miss it. Right there. That clip. Solid. Okay, guys? So I hope this has been beneficial to you. You hear a lot of things up on the internet just because somebody says it. You know, kind of do your own homework. Even with the people that mentor me. I don't bug them with, how come. I go up there and I do my own research, okay? I want to line up what they're saying. And it's not that I don't trust them whatsoever. You know, it's just always good, good to get the same information from 2 or 3 reliable sources. And I want to be one of those reliable sources. All right? Take care. God bless. And we are out of here.